Hey folks, welcome. My name is Emily and this is Gently Chaotic Knits, and that in the background is my dog running around. And this is generally a knitting video podcast series, sometimes with some other crafting, sometimes with some dog distractions and interruptions, sometimes with a whole variety of things. But generally, I'm just here to talk about what I've been knitting and other kind of crafting that I've been working on. Let's see. So I'm actually, normally I feel like when I sit down and I record, I'm like, it's been forever. It's been so long. I have so much to talk to you about. And I don't think it's been that long. It's only been maybe like a week and a half, a couple weeks since I last recorded. So I have less probably to talk about. So it may be a little bit on the shorter side, but I'm trying to record with a little bit more regularity because I do have progress that I've made, things that I've worked on that I want to share. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm sorry if you can hear dog noises in the background, but that is just what we are dealing with today. So hopefully they'll settle in a second and yeah, it won't be too noisy here. But let's go ahead and jump in. I have one finished object for this episode, and it is what I'm wearing today. So this is my ColorTip Tee, which is a pattern by me. I used Explorer Knits and Fibers Denali sock in the colorway Grapefruit for this tee, and I knit the first size and used a US size 3 needle. I think my gauge was pretty close to on, but I do not have final measurements for it, so I can't tell you for certain, but this is washed and blocked as well. And just a note that this is one size smaller on my body than the pattern recommends as far as ease goes. I am able to knit a size smaller for a closer fit because I have a little bit of a narrower shoulder, and it's not like to the seam here, sits in an okay spot on my shoulder, but that is something to be aware of if you do want to knit a closer fit tee. Check out your shoulder measurement. It's okay for it to come in a little bit, like for the shoulders to be like a little bit skinnier than your shoulder. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that this gives, I think it's about 0 ease, maybe like a tiny bit of negative ease for me at the bust. So, but I really like the fit. This is my third ColorTip Tee, and this is my second one that I have knit of this size. My first one I knit size 2 to fit my body, and I like both fits a lot. This one I also did without the contrast color on all the cuffs, all the ribbing, and I did without a pocket, although I'm considering adding a pocket, but I can definitely do that later. So, but for now I did it without the pocket. And otherwise, yeah, I knit it exactly to pattern. No modifications or anything, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's hard for me to do like any kind of, like self-promotion or anything on here, but I do really like this pattern for like a basic t-shirt. I do think I love the way that the sleeves fit, and this like the kind of sleeve shaping, and that if y'all were around when I was designing this pattern, that took like several iterations to get the sleeve right, and I feel like we really did, so I'm very happy with that. So yeah, I really like this tee. I knit this along with some of my friends from my Seattle knitting group. We all did different patterns, but all used Explorer Knits and Fibers Grapefruit, so this colorway. And I think the plan is to have them finished so that we can kind of all meet up and wear them together at Flock Fiber Festival, which is a couple short weeks away. I can't believe how soon it is. So I finished mine in time. I'm very glad to have it done. And this color is just very bright and fun. And it's not a color that I generally wear, but I do think that it's really, really fun for the summer. And I got a lot of enjoyment knitting it. So I think I'll get a lot of enjoyment wearing it too. So really happy with how this turned out. I think I gave all the information that I needed to about that. Yeah, so okay, on to works in progress. Like I said, this is the only thing that I finished this week. So I just have a couple of things that I've been working on. I think most of these I shared about in my last episode, so I'll just give quick updates on them. One is the pair of socks that I was working on. So I shared last week I had finished the first sock. So these are my oak socks, which is a pattern by Veera Välimäki. That I am knitting along with my friend Maya. She is doing actually she already finished hers. She did the same pattern and the same yarn, but the colors are swapped. So she did this really sweet cream variegated, like speckledy kind of color as her main, and the red stripes. So I did it backwards from that. So I finished the first sock, and then I had just kind of done the cuff on the second sock when I last recorded. And since then I haven't done a ton more, but I did do the heel flap and I picked up for the gusset. So I finished the leg, I did my heel flap, and I have picked up the stitches for the gusset, but I have only done like, I don't even know if I've done a full row after picking up the gusset stitches. So I don't know, it's kind of, when you have that many stitches on the one needle, when you're doing magic loop for a sock, I just find that part kind of fiddly to deal with, and I don't like it. So I like got to that point and I put it down. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop there for now. I'm not gonna do any more for now, but anyway, I'm hoping to finish this in the next like week or so. I'm not in a huge rush, but I do want to finish it before Flock because this is yarn that we bought at Flock, which I should tell you what the yarn is actually. This yarn is from Woolberry Fiber Company. I got the red at Flock Fiber Festival last year. I kind of think it is just their Berry Merino base, which is just a 100% superwash merino. And then I think Maya ordered the contrast color, which is the colorway Flock. They had it at Flock Fiber Festival, but I think it sold out before we got around to purchasing it. And so I think that Maya may have pre-ordered this, and I believe it is on the Berry sock base, which is a BFL and nylon, like wool nylon blend. So yeah, Berry sock, and again, the colorway is Flock. So Kindred Spirits, did I say the colorway for the other one? I don't know if I ever did. The red is Kindred Spirits, and the variegated creamy color is like beigey oaty color is Flock. And I really do like this color. I feel like I normally don't do the like tannish beige, but with the red bits and the brown bits, it's really nice. So that is my oak socks. I am knitting the smallest size. I think it's just called size small. And I'm using a US size 0 needle. I think I mentioned this last time too. The pattern actually calls for 2 different needle sizes, like the ribbing at the top I think you're supposed to do in a smaller size, but to get any reasonable sock gauge and like a pair of socks that fits my feet even somewhat reasonably, I have to use a US 0 needle. So I just used a US 0 needle for the whole thing because I don't own any needles smaller than that. So yeah, and here's the ball for the main color too. I can kind of show you those if you want to see them. Just in the ball, that's what they look like. So yeah, hopefully I'll finish those. Oh no. Okay, so my next work in progress is also something that I shared last week, and also something that I don't know if I made a ton of progress on, but let me pull it out. I actually have multiple projects in this bag, so I've got to dig down and get this one. So this is my vacation vest by Park Williams, and I am knitting it out of Rerum Natura Robinson in the colorway Nougat. So here it is. I don't remember exactly where I was last time. I think I may have just joined under the arm. So just joined the fronts and the back. So I've done a little bit of the body. I'm almost finished with my first ball of yarn. And I'm knitting the smallest size. I think in this pattern it's called extra small. And I am using a US size 6 needle for this. I love the way that this yarn feels, just like sitting here and picking it up and squishing it. I love the way that this yarn feels. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I was nervous last time. I was talking a little bit about how I was worried that it was going to be too small, but I did put it on a barber cord shortly after I recorded last time and tried it on, and I do think it's gonna fit. It's gonna be a close fit, like I think it's gonna be close to 0 ease, but I think that's fine for this style. Like I think that's, I'm not unhappy with that fit. And I do think that I can stretch it and it'll block some. While I know cotton doesn't always stretch a ton, at least like horizontally, I don't think, but it's got a lot of wool in it as well. So I do think that it will at least stretch some when I block it. And I think, yeah, last time it was hard to tell. I had it kind of bunched up on the needle. So maybe if I hold it out like this, you can see a little bit better the size. But it is still bunched up a little bit on the needle. But anyway, I'm quite happy with how this is turning out. I also think that I will finish this one up soon. I think instead of doing the little, what is it? Like it's not a snap, it's like a hook and eye or like some sort of fastening that Park calls for in the pattern. I think instead I will do I-cord ties so that it's like cute little ties to fasten it. And I do like this color. I feel like I generally, like I just talked about how I don't normally go for kind of beigey warm neutrals like this. I feel like I tend to go for cooler neutrals, but I do like this and I think it will go with a lot of stuff. So yeah, and this, again, this yarn just feels so good. It's so squishy and I just really, really love it. I want to knit more things in this yarn. Or there's also a similar yarn, the Wool Dreamers Saona. I don't know how to say it. I think Saona. It is a collaboration with Ozetta, and it's also a wool and cotton blend, and I have not knit with it yet, but I bought some, and just in the ball it kind of feels similar to this yarn, so I think it's very similar, just like, what am I trying to think of? Fiber content. I think the content of the yarn is very similar, and it feels really similar, so I think that one will be really nice to work with as well. But yeah, so this is my vacation vest, and I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I've just done some work on the body. I do think this knits up pretty quickly. I kind of took a pause on this for most of the week. I've been spinning a lot, which I'll talk about a little bit at the end, but then I also have been working on a new summer knit that I cast on, so I will share about that. Oh, and also, it's probably not a surprise, but this one I am also knitting along with my friend Maya. She is working also on a similar, I think she's actually holding 2 yarns together to make like a marl, but it's a similar color as well. So I'll put her information below as well so that once she finishes it up, you can find it and look at it, her version on Instagram as well. So that is my vacation vest. I'm hoping to wear this at Flock Fiber Festival as well, but I am realizing that I have more things that I want to wear and not enough days to wear them, so I may have to do some outfit changes at the festival just because I have too many things that I want to wear, but hopefully I'll finish this up and I can wear it to the festival, at least some of the time. So that is my vacation vest, and then my last work in progress I cast on and have been working on is the mini mock neck tank by Jessie May. So this design I think has been really popular and a ton of people have made it, and so many really cute versions out there that I love. So I've been wanting to make one since it came out last summer, and I finally cast on for mine. So this is my start to my mini mock neck. And I love this color. I am really into this color right now. I mean, you will see in a second. I really am loving basically this color. I mean, it's different, but it's kind of similar to the color I'm wearing too. Just like pinky red. I really love. So anyway, this is the mini mock neck by Jessie May. And I am using Stress Knit's favorite in the colorway Red, which is from, it's like the album name, Taylor Swift album name. It's from the, I don't know if it was really a collection that she did, but she did like a little Taylor Swift drop of colorways a while back, and I really loved this one. So I think she actually was selling it in half skeins but I bought 3 of them just to make sure I would have enough to make a summer top. Here is the half skein. I can show you the tag and everything. Stress knits, favorite, which is a fingering weight, and the colorway is red. Here, I don't know if it's focusing. Yeah. So it is an 80/20 superwash merino nylon. This is a 50-gram skein, and like I mentioned, I have 3 of them. I think I'm only gonna need to use 2 of them for this top, so I didn't wind this one up yet, but I did wind up the others, and I can show you. Here it is. The color is so pretty. Really, really pretty. And it felt appropriate to use this yarn for this top because I know that Stacy of Stress Knits is such a lover of the mini mock neck, and I think she even did a course on her Patreon for the mini mock neck as well. So such a perfect, like a perfect match with the yarn and the pattern, but I think this color is really fun for this top as well. So anyway, I did the back and both fronts, and then I joined, actually last night I joined at the underarm and have just been going on the body a little bit today. But I honestly have not worked on this that much this week. I feel like it's gonna go by really quickly. My knitting mojo has been a little bit low at times. There's just other stuff going on, and so sometimes it's hard to carve out a good amount of time to knit, or I don't know, like I was talking to someone about this. I feel like my mental health, there are like stages, and there's like a corresponding amount of how much I want to knit with each stage. So there's just like, you know, my baseline. If I'm feeling good, I knit like a kind of normal amount. If I'm a little bit anxious, or like I'm a little bit stressed out, or a little bit not quite on the top of my game, I feel like I want to knit more. So I'll knit a ton if I'm like a little bit anxious, if I want to keep my hands busy, if I'm just, you know, and then if I get too anxious or if I get too stressed out or I'm just really not doing well, then I don't want to knit at all. So it's like interesting the levels, or like if I'm sick, I feel like that too. If I'm a little bit sick, then I want to knit a lot, but if I feel really bad, if I'm really sick, then I don't want to knit at all, or I just don't feel like knitting. I can't knit. So it's been interesting this period of time for me. The last like month or so I've been kind of in a weird transitional spot, and so my mental health has been kind of like going back and forth in between these stages. And so there have been moments where I'm like at my baseline, I'm knitting a normal amount. There have been moments where I'm knitting so much I like want to knit all day for like a couple days in a row, and then there will be times when I just don't feel like knitting at all because I'm sick, I'm not feeling well, or whatever. There's like anxiety, that kind of thing. So anyway, I definitely had spurts where I was working on this. Like last night, I worked on this a ton. I finished, I think, the right side and joined the left and right fronts, and I finished the rest of the front, and then I joined it with the back all in like a couple hours last night. So I definitely worked on this kind of in spurts throughout the week. But I mean, yeah, and then I did finish this up as well. I spent some time. Anyway, I guess it was more than a week since I last recorded, but I don't know. I don't need to. I feel like it's my instinct to justify, like, I worked on enough stuff, but in the end, I worked on the stuff that I worked on, and I'm here to tell you about it. So that is it for my works in progress. I am itching to cast on a couple things soon though, and I do have some plans that I wanted to talk about. I started a swatch, and then I was gonna grab some other yarn. I may have to stop the recording and go grab it to talk about it, but first I'll talk about the swatch that I did. So I showed this yarn last time. I brought the yarn to you to show again. So I showed this yarn that I got. So I had gotten this one, the Blackwattle yarn and fiber from Maker in Melbourne, Australia. I got 3 skeins of this really pretty, it's a Surrey alpaca and silk lace weight. And I was looking for something to pair it with because I knew I wanted to make a garment, but I didn't have the right color to go with it. So I was looking for something, and then I found this beautiful yarn from Moondrake. The colorway here is Periwinkle, and the base is called Sparkle Stardust. So it's a fingering weight, 80% superfine merino, 15% nep. It's like these colorful tweed bits, and then it's 5% copper stellina. So it has a little bit. This is my first time working with this stellina yarn too. I've never worked with a stellina like shiny yarn before, and I don't know if that you can really see that at all in the camera, but yeah, maybe you can a little bit. You can see a little bit of that glimmer. But anyway, so I got these two yarns and wanted to pair them together, but I was really curious what the fabric would look like. So I decided to start knitting up a swatch, and I'm really pleased with the way that it looks. So let me hold it up so that you can see it. Here they are actually in cake form, if you want to see the yarn in cake form. Very cute. And then here is my swatch. I did not like bind off or block or anything, but I just have it on the needle a little bit because I don't know what I'm going to knit with this, so I wasn't trying to match gauge or anything. I just did this so that I could see the fabric. So I didn't really want to bind off anyway. I'll probably just unravel it, but I wanted to see what it looks like. And it's really nice. I think that the colorful speckles and the stellina are really subtle with the fluff. The like Surrey yarn is kind of dominant. So if I knit this up into a sweater, I feel like it would be not too crazy. Like the colorful neps and the stellina would not be too much for it to be like not as wearable, but it still gives it a little bit of fun and interest. I don't know. I really like it. So I don't know yet what pattern I'm going to make with it, but I do think I am satisfied with these yarns together. I wanted to make sure that I like them together, and I do. So I don't know yet. Again, like I said, I don't know yet the pattern, but if you have recommendations for, I'll probably just do kind of a classic sweater. But yeah, I am planning that, and then actually I have another plan that I wanted to talk to you about, so I'm gonna go grab my yarn for that because I didn't bring it with me. So one second. Okay, I'm back. So sorry, my focus. I noticed also when I was editing my last video that my focus is kind of going in and out. I don't know if that was, it felt like it was more than normal, so hopefully that's not happening again this episode. But anyway, okay. So I think I mentioned last episode, and then I also posted it on Instagram today, that I'm just really already itching for fall. I know it's still July, and I love summer too, but I'm already starting to really itch for fall. So I was going back through some photos of my previous falls, and I found photos of my husband and I going apple picking. We've gone apple picking every year for the last like 3 or 4 years. And so I went back and I found some pictures of us each year apple picking and the really sweet like sweaters that I wore and the photos that we took. And I was definitely feeling that itch for fall and that nostalgia for fall. And also I just had this thought, I don't know, this coziness with the sweater and the apple picking in the fall and everything. It's like, man, I want to maybe knit a sweater specifically for apple picking. I don't know, like if this is a tradition that we go apple picking every year, then maybe it should be a tradition that I knit a sweater for apple picking every year. It's like people do birthday sweaters or Rhinebeck sweater, or there are different occasions that people like specifically knit a sweater for every year. And I was just thinking, what if I knit like an apple picking sweater? I mean, it's not only an apple picking sweater. Of course, I'll wear it other times too. But I was just thinking, what if I had, I don't know, I love to have an occasion to knit something for. So I had this idea, and I think part of it also was just because I'm starting to feel this itch for fall. I'm almost done with these 2 summer knits. I think I'll be wrapping those up in the next week or 2. And I had other summer knits that I was thinking about that I maybe still could go for, but instead of doing that, what if I switched over to fall knits and I started knitting an apple picking sweater? And then I thought, why don't I make this like an annual thing? I don't know. And so a couple people mentioned on Instagram that they would also be interested in doing this. I had a couple friends mention it, and someone mentioned potentially wanting to do a knit along. So let me know if you're interested in that. I don't know if other people go apple picking annually the way that I like to. And I know, like, someone mentioned that they don't really have apple picking in their area, and so I definitely get that. And that's a bummer, but hopefully maybe there are other cozy like fall activities that you would want to do, or like you don't have to pick the apples. Maybe you could make a sweater and then you could make an apple pie, or like we always make applesauce with our apples and apple pie. And I love, okay, there's this sandwich that I've made the last couple years after apple picking. I will make a sourdough loaf of bread and then basically make a grilled cheese sandwich, but put thin sliced apples on it. It's so good. It's so good. You can put, like, I think I've put bacon or prosciutto on it as well if you eat meat. And then you can get really creative with the cheeses. Like I've done one with Gouda, or I've done one with, there's this, I think it was like dill flavored Havarti cheese that was so good. That's one thing that we did, not last year, but the year before. We went apple picking, and then I did like a whole apple tasting setup because we got different types of apples. And so I went to the grocery store and I got a whole bunch of different types of cheeses. And so we did like an apple and cheese pairing, and it was like, oh, which apple do you like with which cheese? And anyway, then we had a whole bunch of leftover cheese. So I made these grilled cheese sandwiches with the different types of cheese and the thin sliced apples on them and like a little prosciutto. Oh, so good. And I want this again. I want it so badly. So anyway, even if you can't go apple picking, if you can just go to your grocery store and get some apples, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who wants to do this, but if you're interested and you want to do the little apple picking sweater knit along, I feel like this is something I could get on board with doing each year. Like at the end of summer, make my transition to fall sweater and then wear it to go apple picking in like September. I don't know, I like this idea, I like it. So anyway, I have an idea for what I want to be my apple picking sweater. So I shared this yarn already because it was an acquisition. I bought this yarn in Amsterdam at Stephen and Penelope. This is the main color. So the yarn is Tandem, and it's a DK weight, 100% wool, and it's really nice and squishy. And I was back and forth kind of thinking about what I wanted to knit with it. I got this for the main color, and then I got 4 other colors for the contrast color. And I shared my like color inspiration for this yarn. It was actually a Pendleton blanket that also it very much has a fall vibe. But I think with the dark kind of mustard as the main color, it definitely has a fall vibe. Like, does not just scream fall to you. I don't know. This one is not very fall, but I think all the others definitely have a fall vibe. So anyway, I originally really wanted to make a raglan because I thought that the stripes would look really good on a raglan. But recently, I think I've changed my mind. And I think I want to make the stripe hype sweater. And I'm really sorry I'm forgetting the designer of the stripe hype sweater. I'm gonna look it up right now because I don't want to not mention that. Okay, let's see. Stripe hype sweater is by Veronika Lindberg. So super cute sweater. It's a drop shoulder. It's not a raglan. And here I was gonna like hold my screen up, but I'll put a picture up here. I am feeling really inspired. I saw this pattern originally because Chelsea and Marlene made them, and I think Marlene from Marlene Knits, she's actually making a second one right now, and Chelsea's from True Lane. You should watch both of their podcasts as well. They're excellent. Marlene, I think, is making a second stripe hype right now, but I love both of their versions, and I think I have enough yarn that I could make the stripe hype with this yarn. So I'm feeling like I maybe would do that. I think that would be a really fun apple picking sweater. But what I wanted to ask, okay, this is why I wanted to come get this yarn and show you, is because I need help deciding about the color placement. So if I put a picture up, you should have been able to see that basically you have a main color, which my main color is already decided because I have more of it. So I have 3 skeins of this color. This colorway is Tiger. So this will be my main color. Sorry, get all my labels facing the right way, kind of maybe It doesn't really matter. This will be my main color. And then basically you have 4 stripe sections. So the body has 2 stripe sections. There's like stripes at the top of the body and stripes at the bottom of the body. And then the sleeves have 2 stripe sections at the top and the bottom. So I hope I have enough of each skein to do the stripes. I'll have to go back and I'll have to check the yardage because I only have 1 skein of each of the contrast colors. But these are my contrast colors. So what I'm kind of thinking is if I want to go for full fall vibes, I kind of want to do this red as one of the ones on the body because I think that there will be more of it, and I think this really leans into the fall vibe, don't you think? So I'm thinking this will be one of the ones for the body, and then I also think the blues I want to be split up. So I'll do one of the blues on the body and one of the blues on the sleeves. So I'm kind of thinking like, do I want to do these 2 on the body and these 2 on the sleeves? But I think these 2 are like similar kind of in color value. So I'm thinking maybe I would do these 2 on the body and these 2 on the sleeves. What do we think? And then I'm thinking, okay, so I don't want the blue to be next to each other, the 2 blues to be next to each other either way. So if I do the body with like the red on the top and the blue on the bottom, then I would do the sleeves with the blue on the top and the green on the bottom, kind of. But I kind of think I like the idea of the blue closer to my face. So I'm kind of thinking I would do, sorry, the dogs are playing in here, and it's hardwood, so you can hear their little paws. Okay, we're all excited. But those are some big eyes. Okay, 1 second. The dogs are very playful right now, so I'm sorry for that. But anyway, what I was thinking is I kind of like the idea of this blue closer to my face, just because I think this is a pretty good color for me, although this one will be the one that's like right next to my face. But I'm thinking I would do the top of the body, this one, the bottom of the body, this one, then the top of the sleeves, green, and the bottom of the sleeves, light blue. I don't know. What do y'all think? I know this, you can't really tell, but this is kind of what I was thinking. But weigh in, let me know what you think as far as placement goes. And we'll see. I like the idea. This one is like quite lighter in color too. So I think that for it to be on the edge of the sleeve kind of fits as well because all the other ones will be kind of closer together in the body. So the lighter one will be a little farther away. I don't know. Does that make sense? Or should it be maybe right in the middle? I don't know. But the other option I've considered is not color blocking the stripes and just alternating the stripes. So just doing the full body and sleeves and just alternating the 4 colors of stripes. So I'm open to that too. Definitely let me know what you think. If I should do color block and if I should, like how I should lay it out. And then if I should just alternate the stripes. But I'm really like itching to cast this on. I know it's still quite hot outside, but I'm feeling fall and I'm feeling like I want to make this sweater and I want to go apple picking with it. How cute would this be in like an orchard? I just feel like it would be a really cute sweater. So that is what I'm thinking about right now, and let me know if you also go apple picking in the fall and if you would want to knit an apple picking sweater with me and we could do like a knit along or something. Let me know. But anyway, those are my plans. I don't really have any other plans. I have spinning plans that I'll talk about in a second, but I don't really have other knitting plans. I tend to be a planner, so oftentimes, at least seasonally or like every once in a while, I'll kind of map out all the projects that I want to make for the next couple months or whatever. But I have a lot of things that I want to knit. I've got a lot of really beautiful yarn that I love. And I kind of want to just wait and see what strikes my fancy, what I feel excited about in the moment. Like if I had planned out, okay, I was gonna do this many summer knits, I don't know, I feel like I'm ready to move on from summer knits. So if I'd made a plan for that, then I would just be ditching the plan anyway. So I guess I'm kind of feeling, I don't know, who am I? Normally I'm the person that's like, I want to plan everything, but I'm feeling like I don't need to have, you know, a plan for everything for, yeah, I'm just feeling like I don't have to have a plan. So there's lots of stuff in the back of my mind that I'm kind of itching to cast on, but I think maybe that one will be next. My Doppio also, I'm really feeling excited about that. I think I'm gonna knit probably in September because I really want to have this kind of fall, like beginning of fall feeling with the Doppio, because I think I talked about this a while ago. I'm planning to knit my Doppio with this Sorella yarn that I got from their, why can I not think of this right now? Gilmore Girls collection. And I haven't gotten all the yarn for it yet. I just have the Gilmore Girls yarn, but I always get this really strong urge to watch Gilmore Girls at the beginning of the fall every year. It's like September-ish time. So I think it would be really sweet to cast on for my Doppio sweater when I am watching Gilmore Girls, like starting Gilmore Girls for the fall. And I've got some really sweet friends that are also planning to knit the Doppio along with me. Marlene from Marlene Knits and my friend Maya, of course, are also planning to knit Doppios. So I like at the same time. So I think we'll do a little knit along. If you are interested in knitting a Doppio, you should knit one along with us as well. Everyone is welcome. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that too. I do need to get the rest of my yarn for that. So maybe I'll do, I just said I don't want to make a plan, but now I'm in my head, I'm like, okay, let's map this out. Let's make a plan. But tentatively, I'm gonna finish my summer knits, and then I think I'm gonna go into maybe the stripe hype sweater for my apple picking sweater. And then I think maybe I'll be ready for Doppio, but depending on how long that takes me, I may have some time for other projects in between too. But okay, let me talk to you about my spinning. So I have been spinning so much, and it's mostly probably because of Tour de Fleece. So Tour de Fleece has come to an end. Kind of a bummer. I loved Tour de Fleece. I also love the Tour de France, so I was really enjoying watching that. But Tour de Fleece ended, and I met my goal. So I had two goals going into Tour de France or Tour de Fleece. The first goal was to spin every day of the tour, and I did not meet that goal. I knew I wasn't going to meet that goal from the beginning, I guess, kind of because I was away from my wheel for the first couple days of the tour, and that's fine. I knew that, and so that didn't really count, I guess. Like, I was just limited. I'm not a spindle spinner, and I was physically not with my wheel, so I couldn't spin. So, but I didn't spin every day other than that because I got sick and I just couldn't do it. But I still met the other goal, which was I wanted to spin half the yarn for my sweater spin. And I did it, and I spun more than that. And oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so in love with this yarn. So let me show it to you. I cannot even tell you how much I love this yarn. So here it is. Oh my gosh. You guys. I love this yarn. I'm so happy with it. I'm so proud of it. I can't believe this. So this is, the fiber is from Feederbrook Farms, and I got it at New York Sheep and Wool Festival. Oh, I have like fuzz or hair or something on my tongue. Oh, and I feel like I need to take a sip. Okay. I got some, I think it's 1.5 pounds. It's 24 ounces I got of BFL. It is a woolen prep. So I think it's called Pin Drafted Roving from Feederbrook Farms, their booth at New York Sheep and Wool last year. And I got this fiber along with my friend Maya, and we both decided to spin them for the same sweater. We're planning to knit the Alver sweater by Sari Nordland. And we kind of embarked on this sweater spin together at the beginning of Tour de Fleece. So we're doing it a little bit different. I think I talked about this before. I am spinning mine worsted. So my drafting style, I'm doing short forward, and then she is doing hers woolen. She's doing a supported long draw for hers. I love how my yarn turned out. So there is definitely color variation. There are bits of the fiber that are different colors that are lighter. There are bits that are more purpley. So even in the skeins, I think you can definitely tell the difference. Like this one is much more kind of red, and this one I think is lighter, and maybe this one is darker and more purpley at bits. But I still think it will all work together just fine in a sweater. And I think I'll have enough yardage that I can even remove some bits if I want to. Like I'm spinning up on, I started my next bobbin as well. Actually, I finished my next bobbin, and there was, or not on this bobbin, I'm actually on my, okay, sorry, let me just take a step back. So basically I was able to fit, so I have 24 ounces, split them into 1 ounce balls, and then I was just roughly trying to spin about 1 ounce a day. I have kind of stuck to that. I've been spinning roughly 1 ounce a day. I spun 6 ounces onto each of my first 2 bobbins, and then I plied those together. I actually ended up having way more on one bobbin than the other. I think I was spinning a lot thinner at the beginning, but I just wound it off into, like, caked it up into a little ball, and then I just plied the rest of it together. That's actually, this skein I think is mostly from the same bobbin, and it's the thinner one. So I think this skein is a little bit thinner than the other 2. But anyway, I did that, and then now I'm doing the rest of my fiber. I accidentally think I actually put 7 ounces on this one. Whoops. And then I'm working on my last bobbin. But what I was saying is on my last bobbin, there's a very light part. So I think it'll be really noticeable in the skein, and I also think that I may leave that part out when I am knitting the sweater because I think I'll have enough yardage. It's so much lighter than the rest, but we'll see. Maybe plied together with the darker part, it'll be fine. But that means each of these skeins is roughly 4 ounces because I did 12 ounces of singles. So these are each roughly 4 ounce skeins, and then I'll have 3 more. So I should have, I started with 24 ounces, so I should have 6 4 ounce skeins. Yeah, and I'm really, really happy with this. I think I made a concerted effort to put more twist in when I was plying, and I think it turned out really nice. I'm really happy with the amount of twist in the ply. And my singles I think were pretty consistent, and I'm just really happy. Yeah, I'm just really happy with this. I mean, and it feels really good. It's really nice and plump, but it's also shiny. And these are not washed yet. So these are just, I just plied them, and then I wound them off onto my Niddy Noddy, and then I just skeined them up. But I have not plied them yet. But here they are. How cute are they? I'm so proud. I'm so proud of them. I just can't stop looking at them. I can't stop staring at them. I love them so much. So there's that. And then, yeah, this is my next finished bobbin of singles. And then I think I have maybe roughly 4 ounces left to spin. 3 or 4 ounces left to spin of the singles. And then I'll ply my last 3 skeins and I'll be done. I can't believe it. And then maybe if we do want to do some more sweater planning, if I do my apple picking stripe hype and then my Doppio with my friends, then maybe Alver with my hand spun will be next. I don't know. Could be fun. That sounds like a great knitting lineup for the fall. I like that. I like that idea a lot. Okay. Next up, that is all the spinning I have done that I'm working on now, but I did some spinning prep, some fiber prep. So I wanted to share about that here as well. So I have been trying to buy less fiber and yarn because I feel like I already have a ton. And I also love a yarn and fiber or fiber advent. I love, if you're unfamiliar with what that is, advent calendars in general are just like through the advent season. So from December 1st to December 24th, there are all kinds of like advent calendars that you can get, which is basically like you open up a little treat every day of advent from like December 1st to December 24th. We did these when I was a kid. My grandma used to make these like really fun, involved. It was kind of like a puzzle that we had to do each day where there was a clue and then there was a treat that was hidden somewhere in our house and we had to like solve the clue and the riddle to find it. Anyway, I'm a huge advent fan. I think it's probably because of that I became like a really big advent fan, but I have gotten myself some form of yarn advent each of the last several years, and I decided this year that I really didn't want to do that just because I have a ton of yarn and fiber already in my stash, and I'm sometimes disappointed with mystery yarn. I just know I already own yarn that I like, so it seems silly to purchase yarn that I don't know if I'll like. And most of the time I like it, and I like, on the whole, the advents that I've gotten in the past, I've been really, really pleased with, so I don't want you to think that I haven't liked them because I really have. But anyway, I'm trying to buy less yarn and fiber. So I had this idea this year to make my own fiber advent. So I took a Lucky Dip fiber bag that I had from Hedgehog Fibers that I got at La Mercerie, and I knew my friend Maya also had some of these Lucky Dips. So I asked her if she wanted to do this with me, and she said yes. So we did our advent fiber prep. So basically what I did, and I'll show you what it looks like now. I actually have my bags on one side, so I'll show you this side. So I had, I don't know if I have any pictures of what the Lucky Dip looked like before, but I'll put some pictures of the steps kind of the process. I don't know if I have good pictures, but I think I took some pictures. Basically like what the fiber looked like before. So I had all this fiber. It's 250 grams of combed top, and it's just a random assortment of combed top from Hedgehog Fibers. And you can get them, they make them in a whole bunch of different color themes kind of. So mine was very bright and like pastel-y kind of, but Maya's, for example, one of her bags was kind of very gray and the other one was like very mauvey pink kind of, and like purpley. So, you know, don't look at mine and think, oh, I don't want to do this because yours like is very bright or neon or pastel or whatever. They come in a whole bunch of different kind of color themes. I think they do a lot of like bright ones too, but you can get them in different, or you can do this with anything. Like you could buy a couple of braids of fiber or whatever. But anyway, what I did was I weighed it, and it was roughly like 250 grams. And I think mine actually weighed in at like 248 maybe. And then I took each piece of fiber and I ripped it into smaller pieces. Like I ripped it vertically into smaller pieces. I think I ripped each one into 4-ish pieces. So the strips to begin with were like maybe this long. So then I ripped them vertically into 4 different pieces. And then I just took a couple of pieces and weighed them out to get to roughly 10 grams, like 10 or 11 grams. And then I rolled them into balls together. So I can show you, like, for example, I can unwrap one. So like, for example, this is one of my balls, and it's actually multiple pieces of fiber wrapped together. So like this is the first one, and then this is the second one. It's like pink and like greeny yellow, and then this is the third one. I'm not gonna unravel it all the way, but it's just like a little blue-green light colored one. So anyway, I basically just ripped the fiber up into these pieces, and then I wrapped them up, and I made 24 of these little balls. So now I have 24 balls, and I'm going to wrap them up into these little, I got these paper bags from Michael's. They're actually for like party favors or something. Yeah, favor bags. So I got these little bags, and then I got some for my friend Maya as well, and I'm gonna go to her house and we are going to wrap each other's advents. So I was gonna just do it randomly, like basically just put them randomly into the little paper bags and then number them, and then I would just open the first one. But then I had the idea that, I mean, it doesn't really matter, I've already seen them all, but then I can pack up Maya's and she can pack up mine, and then it's like a surprise. And I can purposely think, okay, on the first day, like I want to give Maya one that I think she'll really like, and then on like the last day also one that I think she'll really like, and then I kind of, maybe I want to alternate them so that it's not like two that look exactly alike right next to each other or whatever. It probably doesn't matter that much, like they're all random and they would all look fine if you did it randomly, but that way at least there's like a little fun component too. So part of the reason that I wanted to do this now is because the earlier that you do this, I feel like the more likely I am that I'm gonna forget about it. So like it's July right now. If I pack this up in the next few weeks or whatever, I'm still gonna have like 4 or 5 months before I start opening it. I'm probably gonna forget. I'm gonna forget what it looked like. I'm gonna forget. And then it'll still be like this really fun surprise when I open it. I don't know, I just feel like it's gonna be really fun. So one thing that I didn't think about when we started prepping these is that generally I am not with my wheel the entire Advent season because I'm normally living away from home and we travel back home to visit family over the holidays. So not exactly sure what our situation will be this year, but that seems likely to be the case again. So I don't know, I'm a little disappointed I didn't think about that beforehand and maybe structure this differently, because ideally the plan would be to spin one little nest each day, and then by, you know, December 24th, when I'm done with them, then I have like spun all my singles. Oh, I forgot to tell you also, my plan for this, I have roughly 200, I think I have like 220 grams or something, roughly 8 ounces of a cream fiber. Actually, I think I shared this on the podcast a while back. I got some cream fiber when I was in Argentina, or was it in Chile? I don't remember, but it was in Patagonia. I got some really beautiful cream fiber that I thought would pair really beautifully with this. So I was thinking I could spin one single of the cream and one single of this fun Lucky Dip, and then ply them together. And I also think that would kind of mellow it out. When I was talking to Maya about it too, we were like, okay, this is kind of a fun, almost like pastel-y Christmas vibe. And the cream is like, would make it very snowy almost. And so it will kind of make it a little more neutrally, a little more snowy. I think the vibe will be really good. So anyway, I may spin the cream ahead of time, and then like I may have to open more of these, more than one per day, so that I can finish it before I leave my wheel, or I can just do one per day, and then if I go home for the holidays, I can just finish it up when I get back. That would be fine too. I'm not quite sure what my plan will be. We'll have to see. I don't know exactly. Of course, I mean, it's July right now, so there's a lot that's unknown about what's gonna happen in December. Like, that's so far away. So of course I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. But anyway, I wanted to share about that as well. And if you also, like me, did not want to buy a yarn or fiber advent, but still want to partake in some fiber goodness each day of December, or you don't have to open it December 1st to 24th. You can open it on whatever schedule you want. I know that some folks do like solstice boxes and open until the solstice. I may end up doing that this year. I may like start mine early and end on the solstice if that works out timing wise better for me or whatever. But you can make your own advent, you know? And do it now, and then you'll forget about it. And then it'll still be a surprise when you open it up. So anyway, that is my self-made fiber advent. I am sorry again for the dog noises. They are just quite antsy. And so I'll wrap this up soon so that I can go play with them. They're playing with each other, but just kind of loudly. Okay, so I have 2 acquisitions that I wanted to share about this week. The first is I got some more of my Yarn Jam colorway on a different fiber base that I wanted to share with you. So last episode I shared about, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I shared about this fiber, which is amazing, from Yarn Jam. So Trisha from Yarn Jam is doing a podcaster collection. So she picked some of her favorite knitting YouTubers, and she collaborated with each of us to make a special colorway that is inspired by our color loves. And so this is my colorway. So it's called Gently Chaotic Knits. You can see the label on the back. And I love it so much. So these are gonna be available on 2 bases. And last time when I shared it, I only had the 1 base, which is this one, which is the I don't know how to say this, if it's Shanico or Shanico. It's a sheep breed, which is a blend of Merino and Rambouillet. And this is the tweed version. So it also has these colorful neps in it that you can see. You can see them kind of in there. Oh, sorry, I need to take a sip. I'm out of water. Okay, another reason to end this soon. So I had 2 braids of this tweed base, and Trisha was kind enough to send me 2 more braids of the non-tweed base. So I wanted to show that here as well. So I have 2 of these, but I just brought one out to show you. How fun is that? So I think you can just see the colorway a little bit better on this one because it doesn't have the tweed bits. It's so plump looking and it feels so squishy. Regardless of if you get anything from the podcaster collection or get this colorway or whatever, you should definitely try this. If you're a spinner, try this fiber base because it feels so good. And I did spin up a little sample of this base, not this colorway, but it feels amazing to spin. It's like you get the benefits of both Merino and Rambouillet. You get that like really squishy plumpness of the Rambouillet, but you also get the softness of the Merino. So I definitely recommend trying it. And I think I'm gonna apply these together. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna spin it. I think I wanna spin it as a fractal because I think this colorway just really lends itself to really cute barber poling. And I think it would look beautiful as a fractal. It's almost like candy cane-y. I don't know. I think it'll be fun for the fall as well. Like that, the mustard and the dark red I think are very fall. So I think this will probably be what's on my wheel next after I finish my sweater spin. So that is, yeah, I just wanted to show that. That is the, yeah, here's how it's spelled. Shanico. Anyway, and yeah, stay tuned. I will share more. I know I have a discount code as well if you want to get any of this fiber when it becomes available. It'll be early September, I think September 6th. So we still have a ways to go, and I'm going to try to spin this up before then so that you guys can see what it looks like spun up. And you should check out too the other podcasters that are part of the collection. I think I shared about who they are in my last episode, but Marlene from Marlene Knits, Casey from Young Folk Knits, Ariel from Airy Knits, and Meghan from A Naughty Mess are the other podcasters, and I have seen all their colorways and they're all gorgeous. I think if you go check out their videos, they've all kind of shared about it as well. So you can see their beautiful colorways, and there's like a little something there for everyone. I feel like each of us has our own very unique color preference, color palette, if you will. And so you can find something that you love because there's just like a really great variety there. So anyway, that I wanted to show you. So I got this one, and then the other acquisition I had was actually a birthday gift. So my mother-in-law got me this beautiful book. It's from Lina, or Lane. I don't know if it's Lane Publishing, Lina. I've heard both ways. This is a book that I have been wanting for a while. It's called Embroidery on Knits, and I really wanted it. There's one pattern in particular. So it's basically these embroidery patterns that they have shown on knitted projects, and it's really, really beautiful. But there's a ton of really beautiful ones. They're all very kind of natural, like there are lots of flowers and plants and animals, like little butterflies and stuff, all so beautiful. But anyway, this is the one I really wanted this book for, is the fern. So I am a fern lover. If you've watched me for a long time, I know I've mentioned this multiple times. I love ferns. I don't know, there's something about it. I took a plant biology class when I was in college, and I just became kind of obsessed with ferns. And then I lived in the Pacific Northwest, and we hiked a ton and saw ferns all the time. Every time we passed a plant, I was like checking the underside for spores. And we've seen ferns all over the world. Ferns grow everywhere, and there's so many different types of ferns. And like in Australia, we saw all the tree ferns, and there's just, I don't know, I just love them. I love the way that they are kind of spirally when they grow. They look like these cute little spirals, and I love the spores, and I just love ferns. So anyway, there is a fern sweater in my future. I know I'm going to make a sweater, and I am going to embroider this fern on it because I love it. It's so pretty. So anyway, there's lots of other really good stuff in here. Some really cute patterns, like, oh, cute little daisies. And the butterflies are really cute too. I should show you those. Anyway, I am very happy to own this book. I don't know, I haven't done a ton of embroidery. I embroidered a couple ball caps a while ago. One of them was actually stolen out of my car, so I only have one finished, and I gave it to my sister. But anyway, I haven't done a ton of embroidery here with the butterflies. So cute. I feel like that would be really cute too. How cute would a sweater be with just like a grid of butterflies on the front? I love that. And like butterflies and moths, that would be really cute. Anyway, I don't think it's something I'm gonna do like on every single sweater, but I could see myself flipping through there and finding some really cute embroidery patterns that I want to put on a couple sweaters. Definitely the fern one. I'm doing the fern one. I know I am. I was thinking like maybe a DRK everyday sweater with a little fern, like maybe over the shoulder or like down under the, like on the hip. I don't know. Or around the arm would be cute too, around the sleeve. Maybe I should just put ferns all over it. Anyway, I like ferns, and I am excited to have this book. And that is all I wanted to share this week. That's all I had on my list. I am glad that I got the chance to sit down and chat. I'm sorry again for any dog clamoring, noising, whatever the dogs have been doing in the background, dog playing and dog just running around. But it's their house too, so they get to run around and do what they want. Anyway, I am glad that I was able to sit and chat with you all today. I don't know when I will be able to record again next. We have, yeah, it's a transitional time in my life right now. So we are figuring out our next steps, and I'm not sure exactly where I will be in the next few weeks. So I know I will be at Flock Fiber Festival the weekend of August 9th. So if you're gonna be there, I'd love to see you. And otherwise, I'm not sure when I will be able to record next, but hopefully I can record at least once before Flock, because I'd like to chat about what I've got my eye on and what I'm gonna wear and that kind of stuff. But if I don't get a chance to, that's okay. I will definitely record after and chat about how much fun it was and all the stuff I got. So anyway, I am glad I got to sit down and chat today, and I hope you have a great weekend. Today is Friday. It is the start of the Olympics, and so we're gonna be watching the opening ceremony tonight. Got a couple of ring-shaped foods. We're gonna grill some pineapple rings, and we got some peach rings, and I don't know, just like a play on the Olympic rings for a little themed dinner, so that should be fun. I love the Olympics. I yeah, I mean, Tour de France ended and I was kind of sad, and then I was like, oh, I just have to wait a week and then it'll be time for the Olympics. So, and it's baseball season. So this is peak summer sports this year. We had Tour de France and baseball, of course, happen every year, but then we also get the Olympics. Is just, sorry about that. Okay, it's time for me to go. There, Antsy, it's time for me to go. So I will, oh my goodness. I am gonna sign off. I think there's a squirrel in the backyard and they really want to go get the squirrel. So I've got distracting in my future. Okay, I'm signing off. I hope you have a great week. I hope you do lots of knitting and watch lots of baseball and the Olympics and whatever else you fancy. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.